Welcome everyone to Begin with Breath Tai Chi. My name is Dr. Adam Potts, the Tai Chi PT, and today is Tai Chi for creaky knees. So this is great if you're having any problems with your knees, or if you just want to keep them strong and healthy, then this is going to be a great Tai Chi flow to really help you out. Also, after the flow, I'm going to share some of the best exercises you can do in addition to your Tai Chi to really help out your knees. All right, and so if you can hear me okay, please type in Team Live. If you're here on the replay, type in Team Replay. All right, that helps really send this out to more people. Oh yeah, click on the like button too. That'll send this out to more people in the group, in our community, so that we can really spread the love. All right, awesome. Is the volume okay too? I turned it up a little bit. Hopefully it's not screechy or anything. Let's see, Creaky in Iowa. Thanks, Bill. Yes, this class will be good for you. All right, now remember, when it comes to knee sounds, in physical therapy, we call it crepitus, so you might hear it as that. But it's basically sometimes you hear a little crunching and grinding, or maybe you hear a little popping too. Now, most of it's pretty benign, to tell you the truth. A lot of it is just from wear and tear over time. Hopefully not tear, but just from use. And so what happens is the knee joints get a little closer together. So there's supposed to be a little space, like when we're young, we have some nice space. But over time, the space gets a little bit less. Sometimes it's for many different reasons, but sometimes it's because the bones start to kind of adapt and kind of grow little kind of ridges and stuff like that. Once again, not something to worry about. You can actually resolve a lot of symptoms just with exercise and Tai Chi. All right, so some people, you can look on an x-ray and it can look like a horror show, but then some people won't even have pain. All right, so so keep that in mind, that sometimes we can really help our function and the pain without having to really do anything except for exercise and Tai Chi. Now, I will keep in mind, some people do potentially, I know I get a lot of questions about knee replacements and stuff like that, and some people do need that down the line. But I always say, try the exercise first. Sometimes you can prevent it, and then sometimes you need it, and that's okay too. It usually goes pretty well for those folks. So, all right, now I am going to share a little bit of the Native American style flute with you right after the flow. It really helps create a little bit more peace, presence, and just a very enjoyable experience, I think. All right, and then I also have a personal poem that I wanted to share with you today too. So stick around until the end if you can. But for now, find a place where you can do some mindful movement. You don't need a lot of space, just enough room to reach your arms out to the sides and enough to where you can take a step forward and take a step back. All right, you can do this with shoes on, or you can do it barefoot, whatever makes you feel more stable and safe and more at ease. All right, so as always, don't worry about getting the movements perfect. Just follow along the best you can. I'll be your mirror image. You can have a seat at any time, and you can continue to follow along with the upper body, and you can still get into the flow. All right, we'll begin with the feet together or as close as you can. The hands can come to the lower abdomen as we begin with the breath. So just taking a few deep breaths in and out. As you breathe in, the belly expands. And as you breathe out, the belly returns toward the spine. Nice and soft, abdominal breathing, or sometimes called the belly breath. So we learn to breathe with more efficiency and grace. Just tuning into the body, letting go of all the worries from the day, just coming into the here and now. And then on the next inhale, you can hold the breath at the top just for a moment, and then let it out with a big sigh. Just letting out tension and stress. The hands can float down by the sides. And as you breathe in, the arms float up. They circle in front as if you're gathering in energy, bring it into the heart, and then send it down towards the earth, sinking the chi. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Just feeling the sensations. One more time, sink the chi. And then step one foot out to the side, either foot. The arms float up in front, just to about shoulder height. Then the arms float down, the knees and hips soften down as well. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, letting go. We call this opening the door, the start of the journey. It's like you're riding on a wave in the ocean. One more time, floating up and floating down. This time the arms float out to the sides like you're spreading your wings. The arms float down, the fingertips point up. They float up the midline, coming up overhead and spiral out and away from each other. We call this silk reeling, the upward spirals. So opening the shoulders, opening the chest, decompressing the spine. Breathing in, breathing out one more time, silk reeling, the upward spirals. And then reverse direction, the arms float up and over just as much as you can comfortably, fingertips point down, then the hands spiral out and away, the downward spirals. Breathing in and breathing out, or taking as many breaths as you need. One more time, silk reeling. Downward spirals. And then circle the arms in front as if you're hugging a big tree. And then shift your weight all the way over to one side. Draw the hands in as you step in. And then step out to the corner as you push forwards in space. Breathing in as you shift back. Breathing out as you push. Pushing the mountain. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Really taking your time. Bringing mindfulness to the body. One more time, the push. Then draw the hands in, palms face each other. The hands go out to the corner. The palms face away from each other. They open, circling out and around, scooping under, and then back out to the corner, parting the clouds. Breathing in, breathing out. And you can sigh out at any time. It's always encouraged. One more time, parting the clouds. And then step the front foot back in, the hands come back in towards the heart. Shift the weight as you step in. Step out to the other corner, pushing the mountain. Feeling into the body. Feeling the breath. Just letting go of tension. Letting go of stress. One more time, pushing the mountain. This time, palms face each other. The hands go out to the corner, palms face away from each other. They open, circling out and around, scooping under, back out to the corner, parting the clouds. See if you can feel the air between the fingers. How mindful can you be? One more time, parting the clouds. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree, and then step in. Step out to the corner once again. This time as you step out, the arms open out to the sides as you shift forward. And then shifting back, the front knee straightens, the wrists cross, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine long, the arms float out to the sides. Then shifting the weight forward, the front knee bends, the wrists cross, and then they open, the butterfly. Shifting back as you cross the wrists, the front knee can straighten, or you can keep a slight bend. The arms float out to the sides, like you're taking a bow, fluttering your wings. Coming forward as you open, one more time, the butterfly. Take a bow, flutter the wings. And then this time coming forward, the arms open, step the front foot back in, hug the tree, shift the weight as you step in, and then step out to the other corner. As you step out, the arms open. Once again, the butterfly. Shifting back, front knee straightens, the wrists cross, hinging from the hips, arms float out to the sides, keeping the spine nice and long. Shifting forward, front knee bends, the arms open. Shifting back, take a bow, flutter the wings. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time, the butterfly. Nice gentle stretch, never forcing it, just easing in. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree, and then step one foot out a little bit wider. From here, the palms face towards the sky. And then as you soften down, the hands come towards the center and then all the way out to the sides. The hands come back up as you rise up, as if we're gathering seeds. And then we'll plant them into the earth, softening down just as much as you can comfortably. The arms go out to the sides, rising up, softening down. One more time, planting seeds. And then this time, keep on circling all the way around and hug the tree. Step one foot in a little bit closer. And then from here, the arms open wide. Then this hand scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. The top hand goes behind the back, just for now. Step out to the corner. And as you step out, the bottom hand tosses the moon into the sky. And then circle it back around. Toss away as if you could toss the moon. This time the other hand comes back on top, catch the moon. The bottom hand floats up just like you were. The other hand floats down. Circle it around again, parting the wild horse's mane. And as always, don't worry about getting it perfect. Just keep on moving. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, parting the horse's mane. This time, bottom hand comes up, the wrists cross. The arms float down as you circle out and around, back up top. The princess on the mountaintop. Breathing in, open. Breathing out, or once again, taking as many breaths as you need. And just coming up as much as you can comfortably. One more time, the princess on the mountaintop. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree. And then from here, the arms open wide. And this hand scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. Top hand goes behind the back. Step out to the corner. Bottom hand guides the moon into the clouds. Circle it around again. Toss away. This time the other hand comes back on top, catch the moon. Bottom hand floats up, the other hand floats down, parting the horse's mane, creating tranquility out of chaos. Moving from your center. From your waist, the arms follow. One more time, parting the wild horse's mane. This time, bottom hand comes up, the wrists cross, the arms float down, circling out and around, back up top. The princess on the mountaintop. Breathing in, breathing out. Just letting go of striving. Being here is enough. One more time, the princess on the mountaintop. And then step the front foot back in, hug the tree, and soften. From here, the arms open up wide, the fingertips drift towards each other, and the hands float down. And then drifting over to one side, the same side arm comes up, and then down. Other side, like you're bouncing the ball. This time, lift the arm, the opposite leg can lift as well. Touching down as needed. Bouncing the ball in the spring. Breathing in, breathing out. You can always keep the toe down. That's always an option. Or lifting up, just meeting yourself where you're at. One more time, bouncing the ball in the spring. And then circle the arms all the way around and hug the tree. Step one foot out a little bit wider. And then from here, both arms drift all the way over to the side and down, floating up to shoulder height. One hand makes an arrow, the other draws the bow, and then soften down. Rising back up, release the bow. Other side, the other hand makes an arrow, draw the bow, soften down. Rising up, release. This time you can do it all together, drawing the bow as you soften down. Rising back up, one more time, the archer. And then circle the arms all the way around, hug the tree, step one foot in a little bit closer. From here, the arms open wide. Then this hand here scoops under, step in as you catch the moon. This time step out to the side. And as you step out, the bottom hand floats up until it's parallel with the earth. The other hand floats down. Circle it around again, warding off, expanding and lifting. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. This time, bottom hand scoops under, the fingertips slide down, circle it all the way around again, rolling back. Or sometimes called yielding. Going with the flow. One more time, roll back. This time, toss it away. The arms float out to the side, then the hand folds in, pressing palm to palm, and then shift the weight forward. Slide down, toss away, fold in the hand, press forward, nice and soft. One more time. We call this one the press. And then from here, the hands separate, draw the hands in towards the heart, and push. Pushing the mountain once again, coming full circle. Nice and easy, nice and slow. One more time, the push. And then from here, sit back and open, wipe across the horizon. Take your time as you step in, catch the moon, step out to the other side, bottom arm floats up until it's parallel with the earth, other hand floats down, and circle it around again, warding off. Breathing. One more time, circle it around. And then from here, the bottom hand comes up, and then both hands slide down, circle it around, rolling back. Receiving. Can we receive as gracefully as we give? One more time, roll back. And then toss it away. The hand folds in, pressing palm to palm, shift the weight forward. Slide down, toss away, fold it in, press forward. One more time, the press. This time the hands separate, draw them in towards the heart, and push. Nice and easy, nice and slow. And then one more time, just like the ocean. The tide rolls in, the tide rolls out. Then sit back and open, wipe across. We'll do each movement one time. It's called grasping the bird's tail all together. Step in, catch the moon. Step out and ward off. Roll back. Toss away. Press. Release. Draw in and push. Sit back, open, wipe across, other side, grasping the bird's tail. Step in, catch the moon. Step out, ward off. Roll back. Toss away. Fold it in and press. Release. Draw in and push. Very nice. Sit back, hug the tree, bring it to center. You can step the foot in as well. You can adjust as needed. And then from here, the arms open wide. The hands float down. The backs of the hands face each other. They float up the midline of the body and then drift out to the side, the fountain. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, letting go. How much can you let go? Letting go of tension, letting go of stress, moving like water, soft but powerful. One more time, the fountain. This time, the palms face up, one hand on top of the other by the lower abdomen. And then this hand floats all the way up and over, down the center line of the body. Other side, breathe in as the hand floats up, breathing out, centering. Calming the heart, calming the mind. One more time, centering. This time, both hands float all the way up and over, just as much as you can. The hands float down to the waist as you soften down. Then circle the hands in front as if you had a big ball in front of the body, coming all the way around and under, back up to the heart, and down. One more time, opening the heart, rising up, softening down, and then this time making a diamond shape with the hands in front of the heart, and then press out, sending out all your loving kindness to the world. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And then turning your palms to face yourself, the hands come to the heart. May I be kind to myself. May I feel connected with all beings. May I love myself just as I am. Then the hands can float down to the lower abdomen. You can step your feet together or as close as you can. You can close your eyes or just keep a soft gaze, letting your body rock and sway ever so slightly. Bamboo in the wind. Just feeling the sensations in the body. Feeling the sensations of the breath. And then bring your attention into your heart, creating an inner smile. And an outer one as well. Expressing gratitude to yourself for being here today. And then if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open them. The hands can come together in front of the heart. And we can finish with a bow. Thank you all so much for joining me for this Tai Chi Flow. If you like, you can have a seat or you can continue to stand and just let the sounds of the Native American style flute resonate throughout your whole body. All right, so just take a few moments to really feel the sensations into your body, whatever arises. And then if you like, you can type in the comments or the chat how you're feeling right now. I always love to hear about your experience. All right, and then I also want to share one of my personal poems with you. So if you can, stick around for a few more. And then I will show you some exercises to do too. All right, awesome. Thanks, Dana. Loving the double flute. Yes, that was in the key of F sharp. It's a mid-tone double flute made of aromatic cedar. All right, oh, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Feeling centered and grounded. Thanks, Carolyn. Feeling in balance. Thanks, Judith. Awesome, thanks, Paz. All right, and so I wanted to share a poem with you too. So this one is actually called Grasping the Bird's Tail, named after one of the movements we did today. So I did a lot of these during the winter, by the way. So this one is Grasping the Bird's Tail. A dusting of snow visits the tops of trees. In the green grass is now a blanket of white. I ward off the cold breeze by zipping my coat up high. But as I walk down the hill, my pants brush against my legs, sending goosebumps to the surface of my skin. As I tense my body to resist the cold, I press and I push it away. Grasping for pleasantness, warmth, and comfort, my suffering only grows more. And then I remember to yield and let go. I soften and allow things to be. I welcome the present and feel the air, and suffering melts away. All right, so it's kind of based off of a kind of Taoist poetry type of style, where it's really connected with nature and very mindful. Really just about experience, simplicity, just the simple things. And when we tune into these simple things, then we can notice patterns. These little subtleties that actually create suffering in our life, we can let them go or choose something different. We have the power to make the choice when we're mindful. So it's kind of what that one's about. All right, and so now if you're interested in learning a few more exercises to do alongside your Tai Chi, I'm going to show you some of the best ones you can do for creaky knees. All right, so go ahead and actually grab yourself a chair or something you can hold on to that doesn't move. So make sure the chair doesn't have wheels if you do have one. Yeah, because we'll need it for support. So, but if that's all you got, then you can just watch the last one at least. The first two, you should be fine. So, all right. So the first one, I'm going to grab my chair that doesn't have wheels. That one does. All right, let me just tilt it a little so you can, hopefully that angle helps. All right, so I'm going to show you some knee strengthening exercises. All right, so we're going to start off with some very gentle ones, and they're going to be different support. So this first one's actually seated. All right, so what you'll want to do is come towards the edge of the chair to where you feel like you're not going to fall off, but you don't want to be kind of hunched back. Okay, so try to stay up tall if you can. And then what we're going to do is called knee extension. All right, so when we straighten out the leg, that's called extension. And then when we bend it, that's called flexion. All right, so all we're going to do is 10 repetitions. That's one. All right, you want to try to keep your back straight and just straighten it out. Now, you might have a tight hamstring, so you might only be able to straighten it out that much. That's okay. All right, so what we're doing is we're trying to squeeze the front of the thigh, though, if you can. All right, now if you have ankle weights, you can add those on. They give you a little more feedback. Even if they're only 1 pound or 2 pounds, it doesn't have to be real heavy. Actually, it's better if it's not too heavy. So just like 1 pound maybe, or you can put on like a heavy shoe or a boot. That might help too. So it's something to give you a little bit of weight, because this kind of sometimes doesn't activate the quad as much if you don't have anything. But if you don't have anything, then this will still be okay. So do 5 or 10 and see the speed I'm going. So breathing in, and then breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And you can use your hands for support if you want. If you do need some back support, you can sit back. All right, so sometimes your back might get a little bit sore. So if you have any back issues and you have to use like a pillow, then go ahead and adjust and do that. All right. All right, so just different ways you can do it. You can find a different seated position that works best for you. Okay. We'll do the other side. So if we can do 5 to 10. So breathing out, breathing in. So I usually like to breathe out on like the hard part, basically, when we're doing traditional exercise. But as long as you're breathing one way and then the other, then you're okay. Because you don't want to hold your breath, because then you start to increase your blood pressure, and it really just creates tension that where we don't need it. All right, so try to keep your shoulders soft, but use your hands for support, because you don't want to be crunched up trying to do it. So nice and soft. Breathing. All right, so you do 5 to 10 on each leg. All right, I would do them one at a time so you can really focus on squeezing that front of the thigh, get that really mind-body connection there. That'll really make it more efficient and more effective. So, all right, once again, you can add ankle weights. You want to do 5 to 10 of those just once a day. See how you feel. Do it no more than 3 to 5 days a week. And then if you get sore, then take the day off. Give yourself a little break and time to recover. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, you all might be familiar with, but it's really great for the knees and the hips, which is the mini squat. All right, this one we do standing. All right, now you can have the chair there if you need it for support, so just so that you feel like, you know, you can hold on to it, or you can have it behind you. So that's actually a good thing to do in case you lose your balance. All right, so if you lose your balance, then you can just sit down. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start off with the mini squat with the feet shoulder width apart, and then go just a little bit wider. All right, as long as it feels stable. If you feel awkward, then you can bring them in a little. You want your toes and knees in the same direction. All right, so that way when you hip hinge, we're gonna do the hip hinge. They're in the same alignment. All right, let me show you from the side, because the key to the mini squat is the hip hinge, where we send our hips back. All right, notice how my knees don't go forward too much. All right, we don't want the knees to go forward when we squat. We want to send the hips back so that we load up the thighs and the hips, and we don't stress the knee joint. All right, and you can hold your hands up in front too, and sometimes that helps for balance, and you don't have to go very far. All right, just enough to where you're hinging. Really, it's really more about the movement pattern, so just getting that hip hinge down can take a while. All right, so that's one way to do it. All right, that's the mini squat. Now, actually, I had an email, I think it was yesterday, where someone was like, oh, but my physio, I think they're over in the UK, like my physio told me to put my back against the wall and go up and down on the wall. And that's called a wall squat, and that is okay. However, a lot of people do that one wrong, and their knees also come too far forward. So if you are doing that one, and you're like, I'm supposed to do that one, you can still do it. Just make sure you bring your feet out a little bit more. All right, I won't demonstrate it now because I don't want to do too many things all at once. But basically, I just wanted to answer that one person's question. So, however, she also said that it kind of hurt her knees. And so in that case, I would recommend doing the mini squat because it doesn't hurt for her. She said this one actually felt good. So I would say do that, but talk to your physio or physical therapist, you know, just tell them, hey, this hurts, but this doesn't. Is this still gonna strengthen my legs? And if he says, or she says yes, then there's your answer. All right, and then eventually what you can do is once you get the hip hinge down, so don't do this, do that for a whole week at least. So every day doing 10 hip hinges. All right, and you can do this one multiple times a day. Once again, if you get sore, take the day off. But this one's usually pretty benign because you're not going very low. You're just getting that pattern down, trying to get out of this pattern. All right, instead, hips back like you're sticking your bottom out a little bit. All right, and then over time, what you'll find is you can do a full squat, and eventually the knees do come forward a little bit. And so that's okay, but we're not starting off that way, because if you start off by doing that, that's stress to the knee, and then more stress. Whereas you do here, you're doing no stress to the knee, no stress, now just a little bit. All right, so we only want a little bit of stress to the knee, not too much. And so that's gonna protect your knees, and it also keeps your back straight too, so that way you're not just doing this and then this. See how I'm rounded? Instead, we're doing this, where my back is neutral or straight. All right, so breathing in, breathing out. All right, once again, your knees and toes are in the same direction, knees not going past the toes. All right, from the front, you can see that everything's in the same direction. We're not letting the knees cave in. That's going to stress the ligaments. We don't want that. We want the ligaments to be strong and stable. We want the muscles to strengthen. All right, so that's going to keep everything in good alignment for the mini squat. So do that 5 to 10 reps. You can do that one probably every day, but some people, once again, if you get sore, take a break. Get that pattern down, get away from the pattern of knees forward, and then you can do the full squat, starting with the hip hinge still. All right, and that'll protect your knees. All right, and then for the final exercise of the day, we have the hip side raises. All right, so this is called hip abduction, abduction. All right, so abduction, technical term, is when you bring the leg away from the body. Adduction is when you add it towards the body. All right, so those are two different exercises. We're going to do the one that goes away to strengthen the gluteus medius muscle. So that's the side of the hip. You wouldn't believe how many people I've treated for physical therapy where we didn't even do a lot of knee exercises at all. We did a couple, but it was mostly hip exercises, cured the knee pain and made the knees function better. Because if you think about it, you have your thigh bone, your femur. One side is the knee, the other side is the hip. So if this side is off, it's going to throw off the other side. It's all connected. So we strengthen the hips. That a lot of times clears up the stuff going on in the knee. Probably at least 70–80% of people. So, but even if it isn't the source, it's only going to help. Because most people, I've muscle tested probably hundreds of people now. I've only had 2 people where I couldn't push their leg down, meaning that almost everyone is weak there. It's because we don't oftentimes do this exercise, you know, and so it gets weaker as we get older if we don't do that exercise. So we're going to do it. We're going to do that exercise. We'll call it hip side raises. All right, so we're raising the leg to the side, or leg raises to the side. But we're going to use a chair, and we're going to do it standing. All right, so we'll hold on to the chair. All right, I'll do it from the back so you can follow along. All right, or a counter is probably better so that way you're not hunched. So you want to kind of be nice and tall. All right, and then what you're going to do is shift your weight to one leg, and then the other leg is the one we're going to lift up. All right, see how I'm not lifting far though? Because most people, they try to get it up so high and they tilt. And now they're working their back, and maybe not in a good way. And so we want to just go up as much as you can, even if it's only a little bit. That's okay. We're activating this side muscle. You should feel it. Most people will feel it right away or after a few reps. But do 5 or 10, and you'll be like, whoa. Most people, at least. I always hear that. People are just like, that I can feel. All right, and then we'll do the other side. So shift the weight over to the other leg, and then this leg will lift now. And once again, just stay as tall as you can. It can be a little lean is not going to hurt, but you don't want to be doing that just so you can get your leg higher. That's not really doing what we want. So stay tall. Just go up, even if it doesn't feel like it goes much. You're still working that muscle there. So 5 to 10 reps, and then give it a little rest. All right. So, and then from the front, we're holding on to something. And you want to keep the toes forward, so you don't want the toe to go out to the side. You want the toes to stay forward, or else you start working the front of the hip. We want to work the side, so you have to keep the toes in the same direction as you're looking. All right, see how everything's that way? So don't let the toe point out, and then you'll be good. You'll get the right muscle, and you'll really feel, you might really feel it there, so, because most people don't do that one. And yeah, that one's pretty weak for most people. So don't be surprised, it's normal. But if you strengthen it, it's gonna really help with your walking, your stability, your balance on the stairs. It's gonna help going up and down curbs, hills, uneven surfaces. If you have problems with any of that, this is gonna help it to some degree. All right, so those are the exercises. I'm gonna have everything listed in the video description of this video. All right, so I don't have it there yet, but right after this, I'm gonna post all the movements we did for those, I know we have a lot of teacher trainees here that wanna learn how to integrate all these different movements. So I'm gonna have the list of movements of the Tai Chi Flow. I'm also gonna have the poem that I wrote and shared today, and then also the exercises. So those will all be right in the video description. So just click on see more if you're on Facebook, or below the video, depending on which platform you're on. It should be right there, so. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Did you all enjoy today's session? Let me know in the chat. All right. I hope you enjoyed the theme for today too. I just had someone ask me like, what should I do for creaky knees? So I'm like, I'll make a video on it. So if you have a certain condition, especially in your own words, that's even better because more people can relate to it. So let me know if you have any specific things that you want to maybe see a class on, and I could try to make it happen. All right. Let's see. I'm just perusing real quick the chat just to see if there's any comments or any questions. Yes, you can go on Amazon. I think we actually used to sell, we sell the wrist weights, the wrist and ankle weights. This is Laura. She says, do you have any recommendations for good weights you can use with your legs when you do the leg exercises? Yeah, you can. I mean, we do have a few pairs of the weight of the wrist or ankle weights left. They're for the wrist or the ankles. So you can go to our store. If you go to beginwithbreath.com store, well, just go to beginwithbreath.com, and then on the top menu, you'll see a button that says store, and you can check it out. I think we have a couple of weights left, or you can just go on Amazon. They're all, I mean, most of them, look for the reviews. If they're high reviews, then you're probably okay. There's not a whole lot to them. They're just weights. But some of them, yeah, I would read the reviews and then just go and just pick out a pair, like maybe 1 pound to start. Doesn't sound like a lot, but especially with the leg lifts to the side, you'll feel it with just 1 pound. So, so just get some ankle or wrist weights. You can put them right on your ankle, and those will be good for you. Thanks for the question. All right, yeah, we're not gonna keep. I don't think we're gonna keep stocking them. So, so yeah, I would say probably go there. But you can look on our site. I think we have maybe 1 or 2 left, and it is free shipping. So, but can't really compete with Amazon too much, but I try. So. All right, well, thank you all so much. Reach out to me if you have any questions. You can type in the chat or email me. It's Adam and Laura at beginwithbreath.com. If you have any of my emails, then just reply to any of them. I'm sure you probably have one by now. So just email or just hit reply to any of the emails, and I'll see it. I'm currently still screening all of my own emails, so I'm going to probably be getting some help soon, but yeah. Oh, great, Tom, hand wrist exercises. Yes, I had another request for that, so that'll be probably in the near future. Thanks, Tom. So, all right, well, thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all, and until we meet again, I wish you peace, happiness, and harmony. Thank you.